All right, gang, we are on attempt 2 of recording this. I'm sorry. We had a great time talking until I realized that I did not know what I was doing with the software just yet, so my bad. I'm hanging out in Discord as I usually do with my buddy Tal Flater Mouse from, well, actually his name's Jeff, but you can't humble brag with, yeah, I'm friends with Jeff, because then it invariably gets Jeff who. But yeah, Jeff of the Tal Flater Mouse channel, and then I'm hanging out with the
Who?
the even more famous Phoenix Fart of the Phoenix Fart channel. How many subscribers do you have, PP?
That's a good question. Hold on.
Hey, he's got so many he doesn't keep track anymore.
I know, man.
It's interesting ago that I had like 800 subscribers, and then suddenly my like little 22 rifle video got just blown up in Brazil. Now I have 2,500. Yeah, apparently Taurus made a copy of the Winchester 63. So I guess that's where.
I'm not going to be able to do this because I'm going to keep clicking away. Okay. I'm going to keep it rolling, but I'm a dum-dum and they probably missed something I said, but they heard what you guys said, so that's good. I am not going to click away from this thing no matter what happens. But they heard you, which is that Taurus did a 22 copy. So I ended up watching. Boy, we were having a whole conversation about this that we got to replay in the correct order. So let's start with what's going on, Tao. Over the past 2 weeks, we've had Thanksgiving, we've had Black Friday, we've had all this stuff going on. I certainly have some personal stories there, but the big one is that you went out and met a fan.
Yeah, a guy from Australia left a message on one of my videos saying, "Hey, I'm an Australian. I'm gonna be coming through California, and I'd like to meet up with you guys." And it's like, well, get a hold of me somehow, and blah blah blah, and good luck. I can't remember exactly what I said, but trying to coordinate something like that is very difficult. Try to, it's like maybe I'm going to be busy that day or whatever. And but Greg started communicating with him on Snapchat, I think it was, whatever that. I don't know
I
what
love
that.
that Greg has Snapchat.
Yeah, I don't even know what that is. Is that like a dating site or something?
It's like bite-sized Discord. You get audio and video clips and images. Like it's all this stuff. Honestly, take Facebook and remove everything that isn't memes or direct messaging. Did I lose you?
No, I'm still here. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
I was distracted. Anyway, about a week later, I get an email from Greg saying, "Hey, I've been talking with this Australian guy who's gonna, he's in the United States to go to a wedding or something like that, and they're gonna be on vacation at the same time, visiting, the Western United States, and I think we're gonna try to arrange something the day after Thanksgiving, and out, maybe take them out shooting or something like that."
Is he the
So
is he like the first guy to ask, or did he just somehow make it to Greg's radar?
I think it just somehow Greg saw his comment, and it's like Greg likes meeting fans. He's he'll be going through a airport or something. Someone will recognize him, and he digs that, and takes pictures with him and stuff. But it was like, here it is, a few days out, and probably like Wednesday or Thursday. No, it was like maybe Tuesday of last week. I email him, go, "Hey, what's the deal with the Australian guy? Is he still coming through?" And he goes, "Well, I haven't heard it back from him, so apparently it's not going to happen." It's like, oh, okay, no problem. We tried. And then, then we had Thanksgiving, and I didn't really check my email or anything like that. As you many people know, or some know, or
Yeah.
I don't have a cell phone.
Yeah, Tao does not. Oh, Tao is landline only. It is 1989 up in his house.
It's not even. It's rare that I use the landline. It's mostly just emailing and personal messages on Facebook or something.
There's a handful of us that will literally call you on the landline to tell you to get on Discord.
Yeah, you could email me and tell me that,
But then, how do I know if you're there? Because My
Yeah, that's
favorite,
good. Chances are I'm here.
my favorite thing is when I got Taos landline. I was joking with him. I was like, I'm waiting for your wife to pick up so I can just be like, is Top Later Mouse there? Can he come out to play? And he's just like, oh, they won't answer that. Like, no one in his family will answer that landline.
The phone will just ring and ring, and if I don't answer, nobody does. They'll all be here. They don't even pay attention to it.
They think you're a crazy person.
Yeah, everyone else in my family has a cell phone.
Well, I will say one thing: the government doesn't have crap on you now.
Yeah, I'm low. They can't be tracking.
Top Later Mouse, the Gray Man. So, by the way, I want to point out that in the earlier iteration of this, you told me that Danny also does not have a phone.
Yeah, he's as bad as I am.
So, whenever you guys film where you stuff random dangerous stuff into shotguns and you're in the middle of nowhere, and it's you and Danny,
There's no cell phone. I mean, who's gonna come out and save us anyway, though?
you should get a flare gun. I'm just saying.
Whenever I court, he lives in a different city than I do, and Greg lives in a different city than both of us. It's all done through emails or Facebook messages. That's how we coordinate everything. It's completely stupid.
Oh, I love it. I miss it. It makes me nostalgic. I was having this conversation, was it today or yesterday? I was having this conversation where someone was trying to explain, like, they're saying that technically I'm a millennial by the age range, and then I was telling them that that's true. Like, they were saying I'm arguing with it, but I don't. If you're going by the decade, fine, or whatever the weird measurement is. But the cultural difference was because you had to call someone's home to get them on the phone, it made dating and other things kind of weird. And so the easiest thing to do on a Friday or Saturday would be to just go to the mall physically and just see who was there and in person arrange where you were going to be that night, like where the party was, what was going on. And then you would just show up at a time at a place with a car. And now I'm trying to even struggle how I knew where to go, when to go. Like, how did I know where their houses were the first time? I guess I followed them. I guess I did a lot of caravanning.
You looked at maps, maybe? I don't know.
I used maps when I went out of town because I drove pretty far within the first year of my driver's license. I would do 8-hour road trips, but I was kind of weird. Like even for my age bracket, most people just drove around town. They didn't go out of town. But I would go states away because I was a weird kid, I guess.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
It was rare I left the city,
No, I'd go out camping and stuff. And I would just multi-day trip it by. But to be fair, my parents were much older, so they were just I was raised by people who should have been raising boomers, but
were they the greatest generation?
yeah, pretty much. I mean, my mom was a little younger, but she's the earliest possible boomer. But they just sort of were like, okay, well, you're old enough to do whatever. And I'm like, I'm 16. And they're like, yeah, vote, get married, whatever, bye.
Drink.
Yeah.
Here's a carton of cigarettes.
Yeah, here's a pack of Marlboros and a condom. Good luck. So I had a different upbringing was the argument, but I forget what we were talking about now. So back to your story. You had an Australian fan.
We were talking about the Australian guy, but somehow we went 380 degrees, 360 degrees.
Stories, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so anyway, here it was Thanksgiving, and I still thought that the whole deal was off, and I was going to be able to just relax through the weekend, and hunt virtual animals on the Hunter the stupid game and so I stayed up till 2:00 in the morning for Thanksgiving, and then got up at noon on Friday. And I checked my email, and there's an email from Greg saying, hey, that the Australian guy's coming through at 3:00 today. And, it's 2.5 hours away. Can you make it? It's yeah, I can make it. So we're all supposed to meet at this Indian casino, which is kind of by where we shoot, by the Naval Air Base out there.
Are you allowed to say Indian casino?
Yeah, that's what they call it. It's the Indians, not the
dot Indians.
Not think of anyone.
I would really love to see an East Indian casino. That would be awesome.
Oh God, it looked like a Taj Mahal.
Yeah, but the food.
So we're supposed, Greg says, "Oh, we'll meet at the gas station there," and it's. I talk about this gas station a lot because the gas is really cheap there. Because right now in my part of California, if you just go to like a Chevron or something, gas is like 275, 280 a gallon, and the Indian Casino is like $1 less. It was like 275 a gallon, and so anytime that's about all only place I get gas now. But it's like 30. It's a 30-minute drive, so I only get anytime I film with Greg, I always stop there and fill up my tank with gas because I'm saving like $5 or something.
you are the cheapest YouTuber I know by like a million degrees.
Oh yeah, you gotta budget every cent.
What was it when we were like, you should do this thing and it was hilarious, and then you went to look at the price on Amazon, you're like, it's $12. And we went, yeah? You're like, I'm not spending $12. And I was just like, well, I'll order it for you. And then you were like, not if it's $12. Because it was something that had to be consumed. I can't remember what the hell it was.
I don't I remember, yeah, it was something, it was like a Target or something that it was gonna.
I can't remember now. It was supposed to be some
It
gas.
was like too nice. It was too expensive, too nice to just shoot, I think.
It might have been for the Hong Kong thing, too. I'm trying to remember now. Oh, well.
It could have been. I don't know.
But you were just like stuck up on $12. It was great.
Yeah, that's like $3 worth of gas or 3 gallons of gas.
Well, how much gas does it get you at the Indian Casino, though?
Oh well, 3.25 gallons.
I'll take it.
But it's good gas. I don't. You probably don't. The gas nozzles here in California have these stupid emission control, like vapor recovery things on them. I don't know. Yeah, a lot of people don't know this. It's like a rubber bellows that go. You have the metal nozzle, then you have like a rubber bellows over the top of that. It's supposed to recover the vapor.
Oh my god, it sounds really annoying to use.
It's not. It works okay and everything, but it's just who are you fooling here?
I don't
But
know. I sent you a video of the gas pump I ended up using last year. Doc made me drive down like some crazy highway off on the side road of South Carolina, and next thing I know, like I'm almost out of gas. I'm running on fumes on a motorcycle, and I finally pull over at this weird old gas station that's still there, and it was like the rotary pumps. Like literally,
oh wow,
yeah. You pull the handle, and then it like starts clicking away like the old clocks,
yeah.
And it was tuck, 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 tuck,
Like
tuck,
from the
tuck, tuck, tuck,
70s or
tuck.
something?
Yeah. No, I thought I showed you that video. I still got it somewhere.
They're all noisy and everything.
Yeah. Tuck, 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 tuck. And I was just wondering,
Oh, that's great.
I was amazed that they could set it for the appropriate price per gallon, because you would think that we exceeded some number that they never expected.
It went over 70 cents a gallon, and like, oh, can't do that.
Yeah, it'd be like the Y2K of gas stations, but no, that thing was that thing was running and just tuck, 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 tuck.
Oh,
so there you go. Eat that, California.
But if you're in California and you want to get cheap gas, go to an Indian casino that has a gas station, and it's not taxed as much, and I don't think there's even ethanol in it, because I get like really good gas mileage using that stuff. You'd think it would be all like nasty or whatever.
Wait, the Indian casinos don't put corn in their gasoline?
Right. We call it maize. They call it maize.
Thank you. Thank you for being culturally sensitive.
Yes.
So you meet this guy at the gas station. This is already shaping up really well. This guy drives, like, he ends up flying over from Australia, and then ends up meeting
I think it was a 14-hour flight. Does that sound right?
I don't know. Can you imagine selling this to your wife? PP, you're my wife. Are you ready?
Hello, dear.
Thank you. I tell you what, I know we got to go to that wedding. It's like a 20-hour flight. We're gonna rent an RV. We're taking the kid,
And the mother-in-law.
Okay, the mother-in-law. We're taking the mother-in-law. Although that's good, because she can watch the kid, so that we can work on kid number 2. I hope you're ready for this.
It'd be tough to pull off in an RV, though.
PP, you need to
we can make it work.
Okay, thank you, dear. So, while we're there, there's a man from the internet who puts dumb things in firearms. I want to meet him at a gas station.
At the Indian Casino.
I'm sorry, I want to meet him at a casino gas station in the middle of the western part of the United States.
Let's go.
Okay, thank you, dear. This is a very well acted Australian wife.
Yeah, it's in the middle of nowhere. It's nothing but like farmland all around this.
Oh, I'm sorry, and then I gotta skip
casino
ahead.
too.
Then we're going to go shoot weapons.
You know what? I probably heard casino and just went all out.
Do they have casinos in Australia?
I don't know.
That could have been the selling point, you know.
Are there Aboriginal casinos?
I don't know. Okay, so I only had like a quarter tank of gas, so it's like it was time to get some of my cheap Indian gasoline. So that was like part of the reason I went too, because I needed to fill up with gas. So, we're supposed to meet up at 3:00 at the gas station there. So I get there right at 3:00. I'm filling up, or I'm waiting for gas because everybody in the area loves this cheap gas. So there's always lines of people trying to maneuver their cars around all these pumps. It's a mess. But I look over a couple gas pumps over, and there's Greg in his truck. He's going to get some of the Indian gas too. And he didn't see me. He was just like trying to maneuver his truck in, and as one person left, you have to kind of like do this parallel park to try to get into the gas pump. It's such a mess. So anyway, we both fill up our trucks, and then the guy from Australia isn't even there yet. He contacts Greg and says, I'm on my way. I'm 15 minutes out. So we just sat around and BS for a while. And finally he shows up and he goes, I'm over here parked behind the casino. So we drove over there and met up with him. So it's Greg's wife. She wanted to come along for some reason. And Brendan, the Australian guy, his wife, I can't remember her name, and her mom, and then they have this little cute little boy who's like a year old, blonde hair and these eyes as blue as the sky, just really, really cool eyes. And I was worried that, we're supposed to go out and shoot, which is like 5 miles from there.
Yeah.
And I was worried they wanted to drive the RV out there and bring his mother-in-law and his wife, and the kid through a couple miles of dirt road and it just rained, so it was going to be muddy. And I was like, man, we're definitely going to get that stupid motorhome stuck in the mud. But fortunately, all the women wanted to go gamble in the casino and let the men go shoot their guns. Yeah, we're gonna give this Australian guy who's never shot a gun before, just let him wave it around and wish us luck. So luckily we didn't, it wasn't a big old caravan of stuck cars in the mud. It was just two pickups that drove out there, and it wasn't too muddy, and none of us got stuck. But the problem was
we had that issue down in Georgia. David, are you actually there?
I was literally about to say the same thing about Georgia. I came in kind of at the tail end of that, but heard the mud stuff.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt your story, but good Lord, I don't know how many people have heard this story yet, but the IV-80-80-88 range day was down in Georgia on Georgia clay. And Georgia clay is fine if it gets a little wet. It's just slippery on the top, and then you bite through the surface and it stops being a big problem. But the problem is it rained all day long, and people were walking around and driving.
It did not stop.
Yeah, and it just got folded over itself like a shitty panini of mud, just a muddy, shitty panini, and it was like trudging through World War I trenches. I mean, it was just awful. The event was fine, but the environment was terrible. But you're talking about renting that RV and then not wanting to put it in the mud. A lot of guys flew into the nearest airport that was like 2.5 hours away, so they had to drive out in rental cars. And they don't give you locking differentials with rental cars. So there were a bunch of like rental cars skidding everywhere and just completely covered in mud.
And the best part, like because it was really deep mud, and like rental cars, they were all like in Chargers and shit like that. It was the best because one of the guys we were shooting with, he turns around and is like, "Yeah, my car's fucked. I don't know what I'm gonna do to get out of here." It was the funniest thing.
Oh my god! And then somebody's four-wheel drive failed. We thought mine did for a moment, but it turned out a brake caliper had just let go for some reason.
Oh yeah, that's a whole nother adventure.
Yeah, that's a different story. That's a story for another. I've never seen that mechanical failure before. I thought used car. I've been running the four-wheel drive. I thought I'd lost the front, transfer case or something, but nope. I was stuck in place by a caliper that fell into the inside of the rim, which I've never heard of before. But we got that fixed and back on the road. So you went out in the mud. I'm sorry, I just had to tell my horror story.
That's all right.
So wait, he went out shooting. Did he enjoy himself?
Well, yeah. Greg was like a super good host, and
How would you
he
rate
brought
yourself?
out.
How would you rate yourself as a host?
I'm horrible.
Okay, never meet Mouse, folks.
Yeah, I was looking around. It's like, man, dude, I wanted to give him some souvenirs or something, and it's like, man, I don't have crap here to give him. And I had some T-shirts that some company had sent me, and it's like, I don't know what size this dude is. I hope he's not like too skinny or whatever. I have some extra large shirts here, from Fifth Ops.
I love that meeting Mouse is like having an awkward prom date.
Yeah.
You should
I brought this flower that I picked from your neighbor's rosebud.
You should have brought him a corsage.
Oh God. Well, we met up and he was like, redhead guy, probably in his 30s. Yeah, like I said, he had his wife and mother-in-law and everything. And so, anyway, I guess he had shot a couple guns in his life. Like he said, he shot a shotgun with birdshot, and that was about it. And I don't know, maybe like some rifle or something. And Greg had brought out a big old plethora of firearms, all kinds of different handguns and shotguns and rifles and stuff that he, never be able to shoot in Australia, in other words. And
which is
so
weird.
he actually brought out a big old table and set it all up with all the guns on there. AR-15s, both California-ized and non-California-ized. None of the, the normal ARs.
The neutered AR-15.
Do you have contraband ARs, Tal? Are you admitting that?
I don't. Greg does.
See,
But,
there he goes. The cop breaking the law.
Oh man, cops are the worst.
Nah, there's I don't know anyone who's following the law around here.
Oh man,
Call our sanctuary safes.
we got this town in here called Mount Pleasant, and the cops there are like the dumbest, mouth-breathingest. Oh hey David, how's it going?
Yeah.
Did you see the video I did when Dave and I were hanging out? I was like, hey, I gotta go by the gun shop and pick up a shotgun. And it was like a Spencer shotgun. It's a 28-inch barrel or whatever. And I go to get back in the squad car with David. I'm trying to figure out where the fuck to put this gun. And I see the rifle mount that's in the middle of the squad car. So
No, the shotgun rack.
Oh, this is actually supposed to be for a shotgun?
Yeah, that's made for a shotgun.
I thought, is the rifle the other side of it? Is that what it is?
Yeah. The left is the rifle, and the side you were in, like trying to
Wait,
get
why
in.
is the shotgun side on the driver's side? That's a sin. The shotgun side should be on the passenger side.
Yeah, because you say shotgun.
Yeah, right? Thank you.
Oh,
Aren't you
damn.
glad someone got that reference?
I feel so bad that I did not pick up on that. Damn.
God. David's
I'm going to go say 10 Hail Marys.
David's a former Marine. He would say nut to butt all the time. Yeah, just randomly. Whenever we went into the men's room together, he'd say nut to butt. I'm not sure what he meant.
What?
But I ended up saying one time he went to say that, and I said pull the hole. And it's like I had made second Christmas because he was just like, why did I never think to say that in my entire service history?
That second half of that was true.
Yeah, mostly the urinals. So I totally lost track. Oh, I really tried hard to get this Spencer to fit in the police cruiser shotgun rack. It would not.
Would it have fit if there wasn't a windshield?
If there was a
No, we would have needed to remove the seat, the roof of the car.
Yeah, it'd go full Harry and the Henderson. But I think I could have fit a Riot one though. So I guess I got to go get like a Riot Spencer and stick it in there.
Yeah, I think it's meant for the police ones are like the 18-inch barrel.
What the hell are we talking about? I keep ruining this topic. I'm the worst host.
Right.
Getting
The Australian guy.
Oh yeah, you had
getting-
illegal ARs that you were giving to this Australian guy.
Yeah. But he got to shoot ARs, and Greg was like, load up the 10-round magazines and let him shoot, 20 rounds or 30 rounds, whatever. And and he had like several handguns. I think it was a Glock 43 that was like the first handgun he got to shoot in 9mm. Is that right? Glock 43.
Yes, 9mm.
Okay, and the guy did extremely well for someone who never shot a handgun before. I mean, he
Especially the
steel
43,
target.
because the 43 is the small one.
Maybe it's the 45. I don't know.
Oh yeah, the 45 is it's a more like a standard size frame, but it's a 9mm.
Yeah, I don't pay attention to that stuff. But yeah, it was a Glock 45. So that was the first gun he shot at a steel target at, it was like 15 yards, it's a silhouette target, AR 500 target. And it was like every shot, bing, 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 right in the center, like, man, I asked him, it's like, did you practice with a hand, even like a BB gun or something like that? He goes, well, we can't even have BB guns in Australia or airsoft guns.
They can't even have that one brand of Nerf gun.
Yeah. And you have to have a license to own a paintball gun. And it's like, man, that's pretty bad. So he got to shoot
Welcome to the
all the
future.
handguns and rifles and shotguns and got to experience it. And it was literally dark by the time we were done. So, and very cold too. But he had a really good time. He was like, he wanted to like, I'll give you some money to reimburse you for this ammo. It's like, no, this is you don't understand how much of it, this is a treat for us to share this experience with you. It's an honor to, to be able to take you out here.
We were just talking about that kind of same thing, me and Thias, when we were like at the range. Like every time we go to the range, we're so used to having like these old weird things and the machine guns and all this kind of stuff.
Oh, it's worse than
it's
that.
like kind of just.
I have like anxiety about it now because I'm always responsible for like not blowing them up and repairing whatever. Because like one in five works perfect, and then the rest of the time I'm repairing stuff and chasing problems and cracks and blah.
No, but what I was saying was like when we go to the range and we're shooting, and then like we'll shoot them and it's whatever, but then we forget that other people don't get to shoot them, and then we'll give them a chance, and like the happiness that it brings out in other people when they get to shoot.
Oh, it's way more fun.
It's like it's so much more fun just to like let other people shoot it and see that expression of happiness and like that it brings to other people. You're like, oh yeah, I forgot that this is like a cool thing to do for other people.
Dude, you made my day.
Oh, yeah,
we're
there you go.
Hold on, we'll have to talk about that in a minute. Let's get through Tao's story for sure. So he was shooting well with the handgun, and you brought him a T-shirt. How far off were you on the T-shirt size?
He was a big guy too. So he was a good extra large.
What'd you bring him?
Not XX. Would I bring him?
Yeah.
I brought him that T-shirt from Fifth Ops or whatever.
No, I mean, what size T-shirt did you bring him?
Oh, I brought extra large.
Oh, okay, just making sure.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know if this will fit. It's American XL, so it's probably bigger than Australia.
No, are Australians smaller than us?
I don't know.
Say, is that a thing?
I don't think so.
It was interesting. Like I said, he had red hair. His parents actually moved from Ireland to Australia, and he was like the first generation in his family born in Australia, which is, but he had a...
Oh, like recently. They were arrested recently.
Yeah, probably 30 years ago. Yeah, they're still shipping them out, those prisoners out there.
I think it's New Zealand now. I think New Zealand actively goes out and kidnaps people to live there. But, so, this isn't the first fan you've hung out with, though, right?
No. Like, Greg was a fan, and Danny was a fan. I don't call them fans. I just say viewers.
Yeah, it's kind
People
of
that
a
watch
weird
my-
word. I struggle with
Yeah,
that. But I think
it's
I've gotten used to just saying it because it's like I take it lighter. But it is based off the word fanatic, and I don't think we have a lot of those.
Fanatic?
Yeah, isn't that what fan's supposed to be? It's supposed to be fanatic.
Yes, yeah. I
Yeah,
don't
but
think
it goes different when you just say fan. Like
It's kind of
people use the word differently than like like a fanatic.
it's interesting how the internet has sort of reduced what being a fan of something means, you know? Like it's much more personal and much more level. Like
well,
people don't
before
see
you'd be a fan of a sports team or something like that, you know.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I mean, I get the feeling that people, you know, they're excited. Like when people see me in person, they're excited because it's like, oh, it's that guy I recognize, and it's fun, you know. But I don't feel like there's no idolizing or anything. It's just like, oh, they're very genuinely surprised to see me, but I'm obviously just another normal ass person, if not a defective one. And I like that
Well,
attitude.
I think it's changed too in the sense that, especially in the last 10 or 10, 15 years with the internet, that it is people that are more down to earth. It's not like the way that used to be where it was celebrities were these untouchable people that you only saw on TV and you would never get a chance to interact with them and blah, blah, blah. Now with social media and influencers and YouTube and all that stuff, it's like, oh, these are people that are
Yeah, it's
just
kind
another
of
person on the internet.
because there's people with like multi-millions of followers, but then they don't get called celebrities; they get called e-celebrities, and it's very
Or
separate because
influencers.
it's like we don't want to use the word celebrity around them. And I agree. Like I would never. I'm getting comfortable with the word fan because I treat it as a more casual word, but I would never call myself a celebrity because it's not really.
Or famous.
Yeah, definitely not famous. Like it's weird. It's a weird place to be at where you can just be better known in a hobby or an arena of entertainment and not necessarily be this big thing. I kind of like it. It's nice. It's a little flatter.
Yeah,
There's
it's
gotta
kind of
be a
weird
word for
because
that where you're known but not like there's gotta be a word.
well, it's you go up to anybody and ask, have you ever heard of Tal Fledermaus before? And chances are they never did.
I don't know.
But
Most people
still,
do when
there's
I ask.
people all over the world that have heard of Matthias and me, you know. But they're spread out all over the world, and it's if you're truly famous, I'm Justin Bieber, everybody knows who Justin Bieber is, but
By
Sure.
name,
our fame is just I don't know.
I feel like the only way to be famous is to have a certain amount of derision now. Like truly famous, it feels like it has to be controversial
Just about
because there's nobody famous anymore from being just positive. They are, but they're famous within regular TV audiences or regular movie audiences, which doesn't include a lot of people now, especially Gen Z and stuff. They're moving away from those traditional areas of viewing. And so, like, I mean, even me, you could put a picture of Justin Bieber up right now, and it's like, I know him from the zeitgeist talking about him. I don't think I could recognize him because I don't know that I've ever seen him. Like, I don't think his image has been held up to me in a way that I internalized, oh, that's what a Justin Bieber is, you know?
Well, that's the same thing with like the Kardashians. Like we all know the names, but like I couldn't pick them out of.
Yeah, it's weird too. I don't know. I've been told they have large butts, but I don't have cable, and I haven't for a very long time. PP, what's a Kardashian look like?
isn't
I would know.
isn't it like a
Cable
Star
either.
Trek? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Tal.
Star Trek.
No, that's Kardashians. Those are the guys with the weird neck things and the forehead dimple.
Forehead.
I love you for that, Tao. By the way, just for that.
It's from Deep Space Nine, the Star Trek that had two types of space Jew. Yeah, it's
Banned from Patreon. I have to
What?
step in.
I'm commenting on Deep Space Nine. I didn't say anything about. By the way, I haven't said anything negative about anybody either. I could be accusing someone else of being racist.
You just got to be really careful these days. It's like
That is kind of scary.
C&Rsenal accused of anti-Semitism.
It's only
What did
us
he
on
say?
here.
He
Who
didn't
else
say.
is
No,
there
this is
that's
a
gonna say-
recording. I told you that at the beginning. Were you not paying attention?
It's a recording for
Yeah,
Patreon.
we're recording.
Oh, were we?
Yeah, you're on the
Yes.
show right now.
What's wrong with you?
I don't know that. I didn't know any of
It
this.
says unloaded at the top of this. It's for the unloaded podcast thingy.
Oh.
You're
when you
on
came in, I
candid
warned you
camera.
real quick, and then you were, I guess, pressing buttons trying to figure out where your headset was. Wow, you've been on really
No,
good behavior.
my
I thought,
phone. I couldn't hear anything, and the push to talk thing was gone, so I couldn't talk or
I love David. He's like, man, it's a really pleasant conversation. But yeah, no, I don't think. I think you have to actually like call somebody out or something, which I'll never do because it's not really how my brain works. But it definitely felt like they were trying to parallel to like. I mean, it's a stretch on the Ferengi, but it just sometimes I don't know. I get a whiff of somebody trying to make a joke in there. But anyway, the we were getting away from Star Trek.
This is a good tangent.
Well, we can't have a Star Trek conversation because it's just
Yeah, I gotta go get Kristen if this happens too, because it's
yeah.
like her obsession.
What was I saying? Oh, before we got deviated, broken off on the fan topic, we were,
Oh, but what's truly famous and people that are known?
no,
and
before we broke off on that.
Kardashians
No,
took
it's
us to
before
start.
all that. It was before everything. It was,
Hanging out with
fans.
fans.
It was hanging out with fans. So, Tal you said you met Greg and Danny as fans.
Mm-hmm.
And then Bruno, our animator, was watching one of the episodes and then sent in an email and said he could help out, and then he's now on our team. And then, so I guess that's kind of like a fan. I don't know how much of a fan he was. And then I believe I heard, I had to check with him again, but I'm pretty sure Carl commented on one of Ian's early videos inviting him to an event, and then that's how they became friends. And then PP here.
What kind of event? Like a church social or something?
No, it was some shooting thing. I can't remember now. They told me, but it's one of those things that you're in conversation. It just keeps going. I think I was talking to Ian about something, and he told me about it, and then I ended up making fun of him for hanging out with his fans, which I don't mind because I've overengaged all my fans, as you guys probably know. But PP here has a little YouTube channel that I ended up watching, and then weirdly I put it in my to-do list to figure out how to contact him more directly. And then within a week of me doing that, before I got around to it, he sent me an email. So that was a weird serendipitous thing.
Oh, really? How do you know that?
Yeah, I was already watching his little channel because
Yeah.
I like the way he framed and filmed stuff.
Yeah, that was when you put out that like you're feeling out for a new show for shotguns and stuff.
Yeah, and you have a lot of weird exotics, so you were like, hey, I like weird shotguns, and I live in the same state as you, which is always nice to hear. I don't know, it's weird. I get a ton of messages where people want to come hang out and spend time, and we're not really set up for it. I just, like, the economics of C&Rsenal are terrible. Like, it's very expensive to make, and then the time requirements are huge. I'm always working. And then trying to plan a specific day or a specific time, something always blows up, and then I end up having to redo everything. So I'm so bad about making time for anyone because it has to be so high on the list. But then the easiest way is honestly just catch me at a gun show. That's probably the way to do it if you ever really wanted to find me in person, because that's how I ended up hanging out with you, peeps. Because I just said, hey, I'll just meet you at this gun show in state, and that's just what we did, and we started hanging out, and then from there we ended up being friends, and that was a lot easier. But that or just blow time in the Discord. I'll talk to people in the Discord all the time because Tal and I are usually hanging out here in the evenings playing a game or something.
Yep. Did I tell you that on my Patreon, I just put I posted a photo of the Hunter game and say, hey, if any of you guys have this game, Thias and May and Kevin and a bunch of us play this game, and if you already have it, you're welcome to join us. And here's the Discord address.
Yes,
and all that. And literally no one showed up.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that's how interactive my Patreons are.
To be fair, Patreon's kind of weird because I've noticed only about a 10% engagement rate.
Right. Yeah, it's like.
To be fair, unless you have guinea pigs.
No, not even that. No, so that's the other thing is people love Crozier all the time. Like the people who are vocal about him love him. But if you go back and look at the views on those videos, they're not a third of the regular views. But then like I'll post something on Patreon that's exclusive like this, and the maximum number of links on it is always 1/10 of my total number of patrons or something. It's weird.
Do you think it's because it's like a completely like a separate page that you kind of have to check like separately? It's not like the normal.
Well, you get an email notification, when they upload something.
Yeah, but they're not trained.
Like if they're anything like us, like I get like 1.5 million emails a day that I just like click through just to get them off the notification. But
yep, and then the email is not.
Go back and actually.
email's not the place you go for entertainment, so you tend to check your email in a work mode. And I think it really goes back to proving how much power YouTube has in a weird way. Because the browse feature is the #1 way people bump into stuff, just browsing.
100% agree. I mean, that's how I still get suckered into browsing through videos on both YouTube and Facebook video stuff, just from one video linking to the next, linking to the next, linking to the next.
Yeah, it's amazing. You know, I get the same thing. You know, I'll upload a new video and just leave it unlisted and you know, show it to the patrons, and you know, I'll get 100 views, 75, 50 views on it. You know, in that 24-hour period.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And it's like, yeah.
But I mean, I'm glad. It's weird because if we were doing this sort of stuff as impact, it'd be pointless, you know. But we're doing it because it's supposed to be us putting in some effort to show people that we appreciate it. So whether they come for it or not, you know, we're still putting in that effort. So I'm glad to be doing it. But boy, does it make me nervous because it's like, well, without YouTube, you know, I go down from like 30,000 views to 1,000, you know, the most.
Mm-hmm.
So that's scary. That's real scary stuff.
And it's like all the people's, you need to upload a BitChute or this or Full30 or that, you know, it's like nobody goes there. Nobody goes there.
It's because even if they did, those platforms don't have organic discovery.
Right.
It is the algorithm is the enemy and the friend. So as much as like I know a lot of people get upset about the algorithm or the manipulation or whatever, if that system didn't exist, C&Rsenal would not exist. We have to be thankful that the platform did exist. What we're arguing about when we get concerned about these things is that we're afraid of being sort of taken off the platform or hidden on the platform based on being somewhat undigestible. You know, just something that it's one of those things that's weird because I do it too in a way. I say, oh, if I'm going to make a merchandise point for C&R, so people are like, oh, I want a shower curtain or I want this or I want that. If 90% of our average viewers would not buy it, I don't want to make it because it ends up being a huge waste, you know? It's got to have mass appeal. And so I think that's what the decision that YouTube's trying to make lately is. It's like, well, everything's got to be safe for 90+% of people. Now, in their version of safe and our version of safes are wildly different. And so now we're getting sort of edged off of that, you know, being safe for 90% of people platform. And they're looking at us like we're dead weight, you know?
Well, it's because you're also playing, you know, that's the other problem. You're playing on their morals of what their perception is of what's safe for them instead of, you know.
I don't know. I'm kind of curious.
It's not,
oh, go ahead.
you're not getting the opportunity to kind of play on an even playing field, I feel, because you're playing on their field with their rules, with their ethics, I guess, and morals of what they want to choose to push. So
yeah, and a lot of it's them trying to figure out how to monetize the platform because before the platform was a loss leader in order to collect data, and now it's like, well, can we collect the data and make a direct profit too? So, you know, I get it. I don't want to sit here and pretend that I'm outraged and that this is a legislative injustice or something. I just feel like we're going to lose a lot of good things if we.
Well, it's one of those things like if it was a public owned, like, you know, thing, like a government public owned provided service, then you could be upset because you're like, hey, this is supposed to be even platform for everybody, but it's not.
It's weird. There's actually, you know, the original version of NPR before it became sort of its own animal was supposed to be like public access, you know, like the ability for the public to have a voice. It's morphed obviously, but it's not unprecedented to have a neutral platform available to everyone as long as, you know, you abide by basic law. But I don't know. It's weird. In order to be a marketable platform, advertisers are very risk averse, and so that's where you're going to run into problems. But I don't know. That's a whole other conversation, though. We were talking about meeting fans. Tal, you never get recognized. That doesn't happen.
Yeah, that's kind of the way I've always wanted it. I always wanted to be kind of anonymous. I didn't, you know, I've seen what fame and money does to people, like turns them into idiots and snobs and all that stuff. And I
Well,
never
you're-
wanted to go down.
You're very welcome because YouTube's prevented you from having any of the money.
Right. But I'm perfectly fine with not being famous or being recognized when I go to the store and stuff like that. It's you can imagine being, I don't know, like some famous YouTuber that people know, and just everywhere you go, hey man, it would drive me crazy.
That
Well, it depends. I guess it depends if people recognize you and come up to you for the right reasons and in the right way. But if you get like the true quote unquote fanatics that are like overwhelming consistently, then that changes perspective too. It's like I was hearing an interview of Bill Murray because he's very anti the Hollywood lifestyle and the celebrity lifestyle and anti-Hollywood and all that stuff. And they were talking to him about like, being rich and famous. And he says, you know what? I always tell people, because people always tell him, it's like, oh, it just must be so nice to be rich and famous. He goes, you know what? Just try being rich, because it's the famous
don't
part.
be famous.
Yeah, he's like, if you're just rich, I guarantee you'd be just as happy, because the famous part kind of.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm glad I'm not the kind of celebrity that's like, these guys that get on YouTube and they're like 20 something and there's just all these like teen girls that follow them around or whatever. God, that would creep me out. Like I wouldn't want to be anywhere near having a following like that.
You don't think teen girls are following you around?
Yeah, that's not happening.
What about like 30-year-old women?
I think we have
What about soccer moms?
the majority of women who are watching our program, and we do actually have more women than most gun channels as far as I've been able to figure the stats out. The majority, I believe, are spouses who identify with the fact that May is not a super professional, like super made up gun bunny. I've received a lot of comments that May's sort of very plain demeanor is much more attractive to them because they feel like she's more genuine and therefore they actually value her opinion.
Because she's a real person.
That's kind of the way I look at you and May. You're just genuine people. You're not overacting. You're not being stupid.
I'm underacting.
Okay, but you come off as real people. You're not. You don't have like a voice that changes octaves. All over the place. Just weird. Never mind. I'm not gonna go down.
You're gonna keep insulting about some of your other.
Also, the non-stupid comment, that's only like in front of the camera.
I will not name the YouTuber, but Tao used to hang out in another voice channel, and he got edged out, so that's why he came and joined us, because he just couldn't stand someone yelling in his ear all the time.
It's not
Oh, I remember.
Yeah,
I don't know how
we
I don't know how we met. I think I might have.
You joined our Mumble server back in the day.
Yeah, you came on the Mumble server.
Because I remember because I was hanging out. I can't remember what.
I'm trying to remember if I emailed you or something,
Nope.
and then you invited me.
No, we put the Mumble link out there. Like we have the Discord. So the Discord link is at the bottom of our website. It's just there. We don't broadcast it, but it's there. But back in the day, we had a Mumble server, and we put it at the bottom of some of our videos. It just said, yeah, just come play games with us on Mumble. And you went and logged into Mumble, because I remember I sat there, and you logged in and it said Tao Mouse. And I can't remember who, I think it was Z was with me and someone else, and they're just like, is that like the real Tao Mouse, or is this just someone fucking around? And you started talking, and we're like, nope, that's him. Because there's no faking that voice.
Why would you want to?
Who would want to copy me?
Apparently, it's worth a lot of money. Well, not anymore, but it was. But yeah, and then you just wandered in, and then we started playing tank with your friends and golf with your friends.
Shell shock.
And you,
Shell shock.
Tao would take his TV tuner. He'd have to be like, "I'll be right back," and he'd turn off his computer and take his TV tuner card out.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite story. Was
Yeah.
the TV tuner card.
He'd be like, "I'll be right back. I gotta take out my TV tuner card." And he'd just turn off his computer, take off his TV tuner card, put in his video card, and come back. So you could play golf with your friends
slot.
at 10 frames a second.
That was my favorite because I remember asking him. I was like, "Wait, like, is this for real, or are you just messing with us?"
How great is the world that Kevin from IV8088 sent a spare? Wasn't it him who sent you a spare video card just so you'd play a normal game for once?
Yeah, he sent this badass video card. Actually, it's NVIDIA 980 or something.
Yeah, we went from
It gets the job.
barely playing like golf with your friends to now you're playing like the Hunter with us.
Yeah, it's a graphic. It's a beautiful game. It's very graphic. Lots of trees and
Crashes
beautiful
all the time.
skies and water. And it crashes, in opportune moments.
Like constantly. I don't know, May and Tal though, they'll just go shoot every animal in the forest.
Yeah, she was killing everything tonight. There was nothing left for anyone else.
I heard you shot the same bear.
We did. I was trying to kind of converge with her. We were like at least 300 meters apart, but there was this bear, I guess, between us, and I heard her. I was close enough that I could hear her gunshot, and then boom, I shot. This poor bear got hit several times between both of us. And grizzly.
This is a virtual bear, by the way.
Right.
Oh,
It's a funny game because they call it's a hunter game, but it is like kill every animal you see. It's like a poacher game. You're killing everything. And
yeah, I was gonna say it's like
encourages you.
anti everything that like hunters strive for.
It was like Z got on, and Tao and him found like a bunch of American bison in Alaska, and they just slaughtered the whole pack. They went full.
There was like a herd of 30 bison, and we killed them all. It was like
Western expansion. They were chasing them with ATVs and jumping off and shooting them.
Oh,
yeah.
Don't forget to mention Z and I going around with 22 shooting water buffalo until we
Yeah,
passed.
that's good. Yeah, you and Z tracked one water buffalo for like 4 hours with a 22.
It is the most unethical form of hunting you'd ever. I can't even call it hunting. It's poaching. It's mass murder of
animal abuse. The video game.
Like that's true. So imagine if they actually called the game, instead of hunter, they called it poacher. Like, would that make a difference?
No, because then we demand more things. They actually, like, the developers try to make it ethical. It's just that there's only so much you could do. Like, the game would stink if it was truly ethical. But they do a lot.
Yeah,
like,
they had like a 2-bag limit on ducks or something.
Yeah, every shotgun only has three rounds max, which I just want I want a mode in the game where you take the pencil out and just hope the game warden doesn't see.
Yeah, but it rewards you for shooting like 10 bears in a session or whatever.
Yeah, like the daily challenge is like kill every bear you see. Don't let a single one live. Oh my god. Yeah, it's a funny game though.
It's a lot of fun. Even though with it crashing and everything, it's still like, man, I gotta go kill some more animals.
I bet I could kill him even deader next time.
Remind me not to take you hunting, Tao.
Oh god, don't take Tao hunting. He'll get bored.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Real hunting is not his. No, we'll just keep him virtual. There's air conditioning,
like
and soda.
Hunting at an overpopulated zoo or something. At the safari park. You're just, there goes a lion. Boom. There goes another one. Boom.
I also like to send Tao packages from Amazon now that I have his address.
Oh, he keeps sending me things.
I sent him like a thing of like a 6-pack of cheer wine and some comic books.
I just had the last cheer wine like a few days ago. I was like saving it for special.
I can get you more
Needs a restock.
California doesn't have cheer wine apparently.
Yeah, it's like an East Coast thing, I think.
You need 64 ounces of Astro.
No, that's something else. So we've lost the complete thread of everything. We had a theme going about,
Yeah, fans.
meeting with fans. I don't know. I try to give everybody a lot of time. I think I've already talked about meeting with fans though, so it's a little bit of a dead topic. But
You do good at gun shows.
I don't. Again, in state maybe one. Like we went to the show this last weekend, and like one guy recognized me. He's a nice dude. I don't know if I'm supposed to say his name or whatever, but I ended up making fun of him the whole time. So there's that. That may be terrible with fans.
No, but I mean, like you. Anytime we run into people at gun shows, you always take the time to like give them the time.
Well, he was from Myrtle Beach, so I just made fun of him relentlessly. The redneck Riviera.
Myrtle.
Huh?
Did I tell you I've been to Myrtle Beach
That's the
before?
one goddamn place you've been around here?
That's it.
Oh,
That's like the
why?
worst representation
What
of
is wrong with you?
gosh.
There's lots of cool miniature golf parks.
It's the Redneck Riviera.
We have our own redneck Riviera out here. We call it Pismo Beach.
Yeah, I've heard.
I've actually heard about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can drive your cars out on the dunes and stuff there.
Oh, is that what they do there? That's got to be awful for the beach.
Well, there's a little area, you know. I mean, it's not like the beach is very long there, you know, and there's a beach where people play, and then there's a beach where people drive, and
How much does it
And then
cost
there's
to
like-
drive the car on the beach? It's probably expensive.
oh,
Because you know
I
they're
don't think it was
taxing
much.
that.
It was like $5 or something like that. It may have stopped doing it. I don't know. I remember there concerns that there was some nesting birds in the area or some BS like that.
Of course.
Well, that was a blast, man, because people get stuck bad in that sand if they're not.
Oh yeah, people don't know how to drive on sand or mud. We had this conversation in the version of the show that didn't work, is that people don't know the difference between like multi-wheel drive and locking differentials and which is more important than the other.
Yeah.
But all right, we're winding this one out, and we've been at it for an hour. I think we just made people listen to us hang out on Discord, which is pretty funny to me.
Yeah,
This
you
is
don't
fun.
want the wrong people on Discord, but
Oh,
yeah,
no, wait, I can't end this. No. We got to go for at least 20 more minutes, because I haven't even talked about Thanksgiving.
oh, okay.
Friendsgiving.
Yeah, so well, David, you have a family, and PP has a family, and Tal made a family. Good job, buddy.
Yeah.
Mine is scattered / dead for the most part. Like, I got a pair of siblings I still talk to, but they've got their own stuff going on, and they don't always get along. So, but my parents were older; they passed away. So it's been a couple of years, and I still haven't really hit on what my own holiday traditions should be. But we have like a nice friend group in town. I actually made a conscious effort to really get involved with people in my own cities that I had like my own family of sorts, and not just people my own age. Like we hang out we call him Doc because he's a doctor. You can tell how creative we are. But we hang out at Doc's house every Friday night, and he's not old enough to be my father, but he's sort of old enough to be my father, And we go over there and just chill with his family and a lot of our friends, and it's kind of BYOB. And since since he's a medical practitioner, they're always like bringing food to his like place. Like all the drug sales reps and stuff will just bring lunch. That's how they try to bribe doctors, I guess. So he ends up with all this excess food that he just leaves in the work fridge, and then he just brings home on a Friday night and tries to get us to eat it all. And the game is to try to guess what's been there since Monday before you put it in your mouth.
Oh god. What kind of food is it?
Oh, it's all the catered stuff from around town.
Oh, okay.
You
Gotcha.
would love this system. This is your system. Like just a
What is it, like
And it's all
Subway type food, or is it
I
okay?
would say it's usually nicer than like Subway level. Like, and there's always a ton of food.
Yeah, there's more than we can eat. Although I don't, the salads always look so sad. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. But yeah, we hang out at Doc's house every Friday. But for after Thanksgiving, for Black Friday, we did Friendsgiving, and I mean, Doc, I gotta send him a thank you note because he and his wife, because they actually made the turkey again and hung out, and
Wow.
they set up the table, which I don't know, man, it made me feel a lot better. It's been a while.
It was really nice. Like they brought out like the nice silverware and like they
PP
set
was
up
in
the
town. He
table like
came
it
and
was like
visited.
legit Thanksgiving.
nice.
Like it was really nice. We had a great time.
Yeah, Pete showed up late because he had already eaten with his family or something, so he didn't get the full treatment. But I don't know. I like hanging out there. It's just nice. I don't know. You don't always have to get along with everybody about everything. You just have to have a community going. So for a lot of you out there that if you had to do Thanksgiving kind of by yourself, maybe just start spending time with some of the older generation around you, and you'd be surprised at how much you can kind of get close and rebuild things that you're missing. I promise it'll work out. Like don't just shelter in place. Like get out there and either join a group or just take an invitation to dinner or extend an invitation to dinner from somebody that you like. as a human being, not as a date. I'm not giving dating advice. But you should definitely try to stay plugged in, is all I'm saying. Because I know a lot of our internet fans, because in our Discord we were talking about it, and there's a lot of guys that are sort of out there on their own right now, and I feel for them. Sorry, I didn't mean to bring that down.
I don't think you brought it down. I mean, I think it's true. I mean, how often so many people are, especially in my profession, I see it that family is actually not something that generally goes well when families get together a lot of time, and most people are happier with their friend family, I guess, if you want to call it that. That their friends, that they're close, that they can actually spend time with. I mean, that's what we all do. I mean, anytime we're off, you look to your closest friends to hang out.
Yeah, there's this thing that's been evolving, and you can take it to the religious angle, or you could take it to a secular angle. It doesn't matter. Human beings like ritual. Like there's something there to having a practice, and it can feel pointless or exhausting to just go through the motion of a holiday. But if you had it at any point in your childhood as a holiday, and you can emulate it as an adult, it'll make you feel better. It really will. It just takes some practice. I don't know. Sorry, that's my preachy moment.
I actually genuinely, I mean, we love our family, and it's just my wife's family here in town, but we love spending time with them. But it's also a different dynamic. Like when we wanted to spend more time together, so we decided to go out to the range and spend that day together. Like just
PP made us go to the range.
Together. Like that was another really, really nice day, and it was just the friend group, and that's really nice stuff too.
Peeps, how was your day at the range? You haven't talked much this whole time.
I'm listening in. It was great.
Very interactive.
Hold on, give him a minute. He'll tell the story. You just gotta wait. It's like a turtle.
We want a good story from you.
Yeah, his head's gonna poke out any moment.
All right.
If you guys really want to hear him talk, go look up his channel, where he doesn't talk at all in the channel.
Yeah, that's my shtick. No, like I was happy to shoot that, some of that full auto stuff that he brought.
David brought his 10.
Oh yeah, and then 2 mags of Sten. That was fun. And then
I told you to keep shooting it, by the way. It was that same moment, Tal, like you were talking about. It's like they feel bad because they're shooting your ammo, and meanwhile, I'm like, I brought all this ammo to be shot. Enjoy.
There's literally no better way to spend this ammo.
yeah, I ended up like dumping him some ammo in a box I shouldn't have.
Oh yeah. You mixed up my ammo bucket. That was funny.
Yeah, it was really interesting to see that slow motion though, like the 124s versus the 115.
That actually was cool to see how different it reacted.
Were you getting a random rate of fire because you had the two rounds mixed up?
Yeah. So he dumped in my 124, my case of 124s. He dumped this thing of 115. So I'm like, well, crap. Now I gotta shoot all this. When I was loading the magazines, both 124s and 115s got mixed in there together. So when he was shooting, and we were shooting the slow motion. You can 100% tell the difference between the 2 rounds just by the way the bolt was being.
Yeah, it was going like a bup 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 bup.
Oh man, was it just the weight, or were they also different powder loads?
Oh, I'm sure there were different powder loads. I mean, because I don't know what his were, factory rounds from somewhere, and I don't know. I don't know what they were loading with.
No.
I am sorry about that, by the way.
I borrowed David's suppressor for my spike gun. I need to do a whole episode on my spike gun. I have a spike Keltec that I made just to upset a friend of ours. He's a range owner and gun shop owner, and I was looking at a multi-mag sub 2000, and he's like, if you buy a sub 2000, I was like, why? What's the matter? He's like, I've never seen you buy a modern gun. I've never seen you with a modern gun. If the first thing I see you buy is a sub 2000, I'm going to kick you in the dick. And so I ran out and bought, because I wanted a multi-mag and greenie and have it, so, whoops, he lost out on that sale. But I ran out and bought a green multi-mag and just put every part. I've been slowly every time I get $50 to myself, I just quietly put another part on that gun. It is the most expensive sub 2000 ever made. I swear to God.
And it's super freaking sweet and dope because of it.
Yeah, except it can't hold zero. Apparently, I'm now buying braille stabilizers to see if I can get it to.
Just Loctite it. It'd be fine.
Yeah, Loctite
They
or
had
JV
Loctite
weld
on
all
them.
of everything on there.
I was talking to Matt about it, and I was like, I gotta get the better Loctite. And he's like, better? And I was like, yeah, I already had crappy Loctite on it, apparently.
What Loctite do you have on it?
Whatever came in the little pinch bag that came with the thing I put on. So
I have the legit stuff.
I know
You got the
there's a Lowe's
Rock
around the
Tide.
corner. I can go to Lowe's.
You got the Chinese Roctite.
The
Rock
cheese towel.
No, like you get the stuff you get for the suppressors, that rock set. Oh man, that'll never come on.
You know that Loctite has like 50 different Loctites. There's
Can I just use Gorilla Glue? That'll solve it.
There you go.
Thinking right now.
It legit won't.
Yeah, it will. Oh, you weren't here, David. Matt and I had an idea. We're gonna get another sub 2000, and then we're gonna 3D print a custom plastic framework for it. And you know that double 1911 thing?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we're just gonna do a double Keltec sub 2000. Just make a plastic body that you could put two Keltec sub 2000s in. Doppel sub 2000.
Am I
This is
gonna be
good.
printing this?
I don't know. I can get Brennan to print it. It's not even a receiver or anything. It's just the plastic frame.
it just holds two of them together basically.
Yeah, we gotta figure out. We gotta flip the ejection. So we might have to make
One of them, yeah.
Yeah, we'd have to make a left-hand Celtic sub 2000.
You have one facing up, the other one facing down.
It's like a Villa Perosa sub 2000. Wait, can you just make a Villa Perosa with sub 2? Crap, I don't. Maybe this is the new idea.
I was just about to say that. I was like, that's
Should we be
actually
doing that?
exactly what the hell that is.
Okay, I guess we need to make a Villa Perosa sub 2000 now that I'm thinking about this properly. Wait, how do they do those? Oh, they do them. Wait, that's the way to do it. Never mind. I'm going to go back to my original idea. I'm stupid. You know how they make those crank-operated Gardner guns with the two Ruger 1022s? They did them by putting them receiver top to receiver top.
Right, yeah.
Yep.
So that's what we got to do. We got to make it vertical ejection. No, we should make it bottom ejection. Why do they make those? Are those bottom ejecting? Anyway, we need to make them top to top and move the trigger, and then it'll side feed the mags. So it'll be like a double sten. It'll have like a mag coming in one side and a mag coming in the other side, and then trigger down below and ejection port in front of the trigger.
Open bolt.
No, it can't be open bolt because it's going to be sub 2000s. They fire from the closed bolt.
Yeah, but full auto.
Well, if you're going to make a full auto one, then you're going to just do it custom, then you might as well just do like a double sten kit.
That's what I'm saying. What do you think I'm saying?
I was talking about sub 2000s.
Yeah, but we can still make them full auto.
No, the bolt weight's too light. The fire rate would be awful.
Stop taking away my fun.
The fire rate would be awful.
You did say you wanted a Villa Perosa.
Yeah, you shot the Villa Perosa. Yes. Yeah.
What about a sub 2000 Gatling gun where you put like 5 sub 2000s together and you turn a crank and the whole thing rotates like a Gatling gun?
Did
Have
you
seen
see
those
those
before?
Yeah, but did you see the Lewis gun version of that?
No, I've just seen this SKS version.
I put it on our Instagram. There's like 3 or 4 Lewis guns mounted in a ring, and I don't think they fire simultaneously. I think you're supposed to like empty one Lewis gun, and then if it jams or you have any trouble with it, you just rotate the ring to the next Lewis gun. It's brilliantly stupid. Okay, I think that's where we're gonna end it, right? We're gonna end it on the Doppel sub 2000.
I think so.
Okay, well, I had a lovely Thanksgiving. I spent it with my adopted family, and like May and Susan, David and PP, and not Tao because he won't come visit. But you know,
I was gonna take a train out there, but I don't.
that sounds like it'd be fun.
It would, except it's the train.
What's wrong with you don't want to ride a train for 3 days?
It's like a 1800s form of transportation. It's 2-dimensional.
Yeah, but think of all the whenever it stopped, you could get out and shoot some buffalo.
Just shoot from the window, you know.
That's how they used to do it, right?
Yeah, that's what people did.
I don't trust anything anymore, by the way. After our show, the number of things that people are like 100% certain happened in history that didn't happen, I don't trust anything. Nothing.
No.
Nothing. I trust nothing anymore. So that's it. Don't trust anything. Bye, folks.